mounting on stage is the Sergeant for Freedom, Jacob Caesar. Let's welcome. God bless you.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you. Please be seated. Wow. Standing ovation. Thank you very much. Now, first of all, I would like to say a big thank you, Pastor Brian, for this initiative. He who that cares for the youth will see the end of the future. And I want to thank you for this. It's a great initiative. And also thank all the team that is supporting him. But most of all, I want to thank the youth that is here that made this happen. Your presence is very much appreciated. When Jackie called me and mentioned iYES, I didn't know much about it, but I decided to find out, and that's when I found out about your president and realized that he's doing great things, and anything great, trust me to be part of. I'm destined for greatness. So once again, I want to say thank you very much. God bless you for what you're doing. God bless you, Jackie. God bless you, all the people here supporting this initiative. But before I start, I'm not here today to maybe talk about really the things I've done or the things I've achieved. I think you've seen enough already. I'm here to share the 7 core principles of Freedom Jacob Caesar with you. Now, this is not just going to make you extraordinary. This is not just going to make you a millionaire. This is going to make you wealthy. There's a big difference. There's a very big difference between being somebody, being rich, being a star, being a footballer. Somebody can be that. But when you're wealthy, it means you're ordained, you are anointed, you are appointed. Nobody can stop you. Your steps are heavy. Your footsteps are landmarks and footprints in society. And that's the person, that is the spirit, that is the character that I want to encourage the youth of Africa to become. It's been a very long journey coming here. But this long journey only seems like it was yesterday. It's come so fast. And so, I was born by the name Nana Kwame Bediako. And sometime in my life, I decided to change my name to Cheddar. Cheddar simply means money. Why did I choose to call myself Cheddar? That's the only thing I lacked when I was born. I was born into poverty. I wasn't even the ordinary man. I was poor, very poor. There was nothing ordinary about me. So money was the first thing that I thought if I find it, I could solve my problems. But you will find out later in my speech that no, it wasn't just money. I thought it was money. So I started with money. I wanted it so bad. I was looking for it. If you had a mother like my mother that was a vegetarian, so she never fed me with no chicken. I never had no beef. Plus the money was so little. There was no television in the house. There was no radio. But I had to play it cool. I had to hide the feeling of poverty. I realized it was a curse. Poverty is a curse. But you can turn a curse to a gift. That was my first core principle of FJC. My number one core principle is know thyself. I want everybody here to understand that if you don't know yourself, you definitely don't know where you're going. Because people are going to be telling you who you are. People are going to be telling you what you're going to become. And you're going to be disappointed with yourself. So I'm going to leave you with these core principles. I want you to understand that your first thing that you need to know is to know thyself. I knew myself. I knew I was broke. I knew I was poor. I knew I was black. I knew I was an African. For the people who are following them, the little ants, they follow them. Now, I am going to use this ant as a white man. And I'm going to use the sugar as a black man, so you will know thyself. When the white man sees gold or diamonds from far, he doesn't come alone. He comes with his people, and he's following. And he will come, and he will take the gold. He saw it from far. The white man is playing the ant rule. So they say a black man is a bad man. But the black man is the sugar. Meaning that there's something sweetness. There's sweetness in the black man. There's sweetness in you. There is something in you that they're chasing you. They're coming for you. Somebody is coming for you because you are the gold. You didn't know that you are the gold. This is why I want you to know thyself. Because you are the gold. You are the reason why the ant has come with his army and took the sugar and built mountains. You are the reason why the white man has come with his army, took your gold, and built skyscrapers. So, if the ant or the white man has done so much out of you, I want you to start to ask yourself the question, who am I? That's it. You are the gold. That's your value. That's your value. I came here to instill these principled core values into you. I want to remind you of who you are. I want you to be aware of who you are becoming. The youth, of course, have a future ahead of them. And your future is the time ahead of you. This brings me to FJC's principle number 3. Time. Time. You guys are never appreciating the time. This time I'm standing here with you, I could charge you $3 million because if I tell you what I'm worth in an hour, you wouldn't believe it. I didn't wait for anybody to put that wealth for me. I said I am worth this much in an hour. That is the value of my time. This is the same kid that started as a penniless, broke child. When I found out about myself and when I started to appreciate creation, I put the value on myself and I realized that my time here is all I have. That's all I have. You can't tell me nothing about it. I am going to grow old. I am going to die one day. And you will do the same. But before we both die, what are we doing with our time? I want you to see the importance of your time. Okay? Time is not a joke. If you wanted to be a footballer when you were 15 years old and you're 27 years today, you haven't become a footballer, my brother, forget it. Start thinking about being a coach. The football time, gone. This is time. And I'm going to share my story with time with you guys. Okay? This is in my book. The 7 stages of time that came out of the 7 principles of Freedom Jacob Caesar. Stage number 1. Life consists of these 7 decades, 7 stages, and 7 phases. You're going to be changing. And every decade is going to go so quick. But you only have 7 of them. And so, I would like to calculate these 7 decades with all of you, so you will be prepared for your life. Let's see how we're going to break these 7 decades up. It's 70 years. Okay? Your first 5 years, you know nothing. You're crawling. You don't know anything. Your last 5 years, now you know everything. You've seen everything, but you can't do anything. That's 1 decade. It's gone. You have 6 left. Okay? 2 out of these 6 decades, you're going to sleep it away. Every night, you're going to sleep between 5 to 8 hours. So 2 to 3 decades can go. But let me be conservative and say 2 decades. So now, you have 4 decades. This is the 4 decades that you want to build houses with, you want to get married with, you want to have children with, you want to become a footballer with, you want to become a jackapia with, you want to do everything with these 40 years. Now my question is, if you're lucky, you will see this 70. If you're not, you might only have 20 years or 30 years to achieve what you came here to do. If you want to change someone's life, if you want to change a society, you want to build a nation again, you want to build your mom a house, build yourself a house, buy yourself a car, buy your dream clothes, buy your dream whatever, you have up to 4 decades. Even if you were working and getting $100,000 a month, start to think that can you get all these things out of these 4 decades? Your time is the most precious tool in life. And it's the 3rd principle, but it is the most precious. It's going to run out. And this is how it runs out. By the time you're 10 years, heading to 20 years, everything is beautiful. You don't have to pay for your rent. You don't have to pay for your fees. You don't have to pay for anything. So life is beautiful. Life says, good morning. It's always beautiful when you don't have to pay for anything. By the time you hit your 20s and get into 25, you start to think about your old days when you had everything. You had energy, you had time, you had fun, you had everything, but you were broke. Now that from 20 to 35, you have begun to work for yourself. You have everything. You have your car, you probably have a wife, you're successful, but you don't have time anymore. You're running out of time. Everybody wants a part of you. So you've lost time. And that's the time that life comes to you and say, hello, good afternoon. You're halfway through your 7 decades. So life has come to greet you. And then it begins all at 40. when you have your wife, when you have your kids, when you have a life and you want to relax, you're a secretary, you're going to stay as a secretary for the rest of your life. Okay? If you are, unless you're KFC, it'd probably be a miracle. But whatever you are, by the time you hit 40, you would like to maintain it. Don't start dreaming. It's too late to dream. Maybe you should go for a vision, but don't dream. Now, get into your 40s to your 50s. Now, you've realized that you've done whatever you had to do in life. Your kids are growing. You've rented yourself a home, or you've built your mom a home. You know, you're beginning to see that there is the youth behind you, and you can't do what the youth do anymore. So you're 10 years away from retirement. Now you want to retire at the age of 60. You have money, you have lived life, you have everything, and now you want time to rest. You have the time, although it's not enough, but there's one thing missing. Your health begins to go backwards. Your health is telling you you need more rest. And at this point, life comes back and says to you, good evening. You only have 10 years more to reach your 7 decades. And if you reach these 7 decades, any years after that, it's God's given bonus. But life has already said to you, good night. It's over. From there going, anything can happen. So I decided to share this speech with the youth today because I want you to see what is ahead of you with your time. If you can see what your time is going to do for you, if you are 18 today, if you are 20 today, if you are 15 today, if you are 25, if you are 30 today, you've got 4 decades. You can pull the brakes now if you think you're not doing the right thing. You've got time. You've got time to impact this world, to impact society, to impact your family, to make a change. So when you die, I'm sure God will be there and he will salute you and say, my son or my daughter, what do you want to be next? You're a great achiever. I'm going to send you back. It's your value of your time. You should never play with it. You should not let anybody confuse you with it. Your time belongs to you. Everybody has this time. That is the unique, peculiar gift God gave us after creation. Time. Please, if you forget time, forget freedom. If you forget freedom, forget cheddar. And if you forget cheddar, forget money. I want you to keep these core principles with you because that's what I'm leaving with you. It's a capital. I don't go around speaking and giving speeches. I simply know how to acquire my wealth. So I don't have to try and speak to everybody to impress them about my wisdom or my knowledge because I know how to get paid. But I'm doing this for free because I want you to know that freedom is standing right here with you. And that's the value I'm going to give you. Now let's go to principle 4. See, people might not take this very serious, but it's relationship management. The relation is okay, I always say to people, but the ship can be a problem. The relationship that you have with people on this earth, that is basically how you're building your empire. You're building your empire by the relationships that you're having with people. Is that you, Sandra? Sorry. You are building your empire with the relationships that you have made on this planet. So, my relationship with Pastor Brian today, it means that Pastor Brian can open the door for me to impact 1,000 or 10,000 kids. That 10,000 kids can impact another 20,000 people. That 20,000 people can impact another 1,000,000 people, and it can keep going and going and going. So I value that relationship. I have to manage it. I have to hold it. I can't throw it away. So if Pastor Brian is one of the people on my right hand, let's see who is on my left hand that I have to manage this relationship. This could be your mother. See, my relationship with my mother is for me to understand that if somebody can carry me, a knucklehead person like me, a tough warrior like me, for 9 months and take care of me for all that time, and I have something to pay her back, I need to do whatever I have to do to manage this relationship and manage Pastor Brian's relationship and manage the relationship with the other friend who is blind and manage the relationship with my friend who is playing the drums and manage all the relationships around me. I learned this from the story of Christ. He managed 12 people around him. Some of them were cool. Some of them were fishermen. But some of them were betrayals. There were different types of people, but he managed all of them around him. If you want to be successful, if you want to become wealthy, if you want to become a leader, you cannot be a leader without you managing these relationships. Because a leader is not chosen based on relationships. A leader is chosen because one has valued the relationships amongst society. He goes to them. They don't come to him. They only chose him. That's why he's the leader. But the leader went to them. He's the one that manages the relationship. It's not the people who believe in the leader that is managing the relationship. It's the leader who has managed the relationship. So I would like you guys to understand that whatever relationships that you have, manage it. I don't know if it's your girlfriend relationship and you had to break up with them. It doesn't mean that the fact that you're breaking up with them means you have to break away from them. You have to manage the relationship. Because you never know. She could be standing at heaven gates. Yes, she could be the last one waiting for you. You have to manage it. Because if you don't, and you saw her at the gates, you know where you're going, right? So that's the value of managing relationships. It's basically the foundation of wealth, success. Managing relationship is key. I have different types of friends. One of my friends is blind, completely blind, and he's one of my best friends. And I don't want to go into that story today, but I managed a relationship for 4 years until I found out that Brown is an angel who came to this earth to deliver a message. And it took me 4 years for me to understand the message that is coming from a blind person. His words to me was, "Cheddar, you are one of the greatest." And his eyes was closed. And I said, "Yeah? Okay. Why?" And then he says to me, "The greatest tragedy that befell on a man is a man with a sight but without a vision. And you have a lot of that." I still didn't understand Brown. Oh, you can clap if you want to, but I want to tell you my story. I didn't understand Brown. I thought he just quoted something for me. But I kept thinking about it over and over and over and over. Then it dawned on me and said, the greatest tragedy that befalls on a man is a man with a sight, but without a vision. Then I realized it was a blind person that told me. So how did this blind person know about a sight and a vision? That's how the angel speaks. So from that very moment, Brown made me know the greatness in me. It didn't take CNN or BBC to come and tell me that you are great. No, it took a blind person. That relationship that I manage, he told me I'm great. It took me 4 years. I had to rent him a house. I had to buy him a fridge. I had to buy him a microwave. I had to make sure he's fine. And after I got him everything, I asked him, is there anything else I can get? He said, yes. What is it? TV. Yes. He believed that he can see. So I asked him, how are you going to watch TV, Brown? He said, don't worry. I'll follow it. My message to you is, don't be bothered with what you're looking at. Really, watch where you're stepping. Because that's the only thing you need to follow. Don't just let your eyes be the sight that decides for you. Because you don't live by watching. You live by walking. You live by walking. And I repeat it. Is somebody in the house hearing me now? I said you live by walking. You don't live by watching. So all of those who have been watching me and judging me, I am here today. I am delivering the message to you yourself that don't just watch me. Watch my step. Follow my journey. Understand the value of where I'm traveling to, because I am walking towards a destiny. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what you're saying. But you show me where you're going, and I will roll with you. Anyone here that shows me where they're going, I will roll with you. I need to know where you're going. I know where I'm going. I know myself. I know my principles. I know my core values. And you know what? I appreciate me. If you don't like me, it's okay. But I appreciate me. I want you to start to appreciate yourself. You don't need anybody to make you. I want this spirit to enter you this very moment. You don't need anybody. The only reason why CNN is talking about you is because there's something great in you. Don't let them lie to you. The only reason why you're on Ghana television is because they've seen something great about you. The only reason why you're mentioning the name freedom is because I am representing something. Something that has got your eyes looking. Something that has got your mouth speaking. Something that has got your legs walking. Now you want to follow. You have to watch your step. Because all the time that I told you about, you're going to be walking through a journey. And keep your eyes there. Watch your step. Don't waste your time. Don't talk about people. You know, the only reason why they talk behind my back is because they're behind me. That's why I've never looked. I don't look. I am just going. And the pace that I'm going with, no one can stop me. Because I'm used to my own steps. Even when I slip, I know how to get back up. Even when I fall, I know how to pick myself up. Even when you stop me, I know how to put my way through. I would duck. I would dive. I will use my 70 years so powerful that it will impact generations and nations. I will impact the youth. I want to change not only my country, but I want to change my color. And I'm not saying that I want to become Michael Jackson. No, I want to stay black. But I want the world to understand that black mentality can also be full of wisdom. It can also be full of achievement. It can also be full of great things. Most of these things that I've done that look so big for some people, I did it in 1 decade. Now, I don't know what to say and how God is going to elevate me in my next decade. But we're definitely taking steps together. I'm not alone. I don't stand alone. There is a great spirit. That spirit that is in you is in me. The only difference is you don't see it, but I see it. I am not alone. I want you to find that spirit in you and let it work for you. It can't be the pastor that put it in you. It's not going to be the teacher that put it in you. It's not just going to be somebody that will put that in you. You need to discover that yourself. And if you follow this principle, core principles, you are going to discover yourself. Please make sure before you die, you discover yourself. Even at your last year, when you discover yourself, remember me. Remember me that I told you to know thyself. Let me take you to my sixth. Do I have time? I have 2 more principles, and then maybe we can get some questions. But my sixth one is, is it 5? Oh my gosh. So you guys are really following the steps, not just the talk. Okay. All right, so my 5th principle is going to be money. Dollars, cha-cha-kwacha, CDs, naira. Now, I just want to teach you about money. I'm not going to teach you how to become rich. I'm going to teach you what money is. And you decide for yourself what you want out of it. Money, I told you from the beginning that I was broke, penniless, broke. Hey, I had to look for this girl. But money is also the invincible devil. And this devil is also created by the omnipotent creator. What a controversy. So maybe God is a mathematician. Great thing for you to find out. Money is the biggest thing that is moving the world and shaping it left, right, center. It's tricking us, it's playing us, it's killing us, it's stopping us, it's doing all sort of things to us. But nobody wants to take their time and look at this girl, money. Everybody is just chasing it. Wow. But I have something to share for you with money. It's a very, 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 very powerful being. Money has human in it. Money has a spirit in it.